Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right on into it. All right, we're going to talk about the future of the Vols. Now, needless to say, I think the future looks really good for Josh Heupel and the entire team. I really couldn't feel a whole lot better about them. They have done a fantastic job over the last 2 years. You know, and I've talked about this, what Josh Heupel came into, and the last 24 months, what he's done with this program is really remarkable. Even when they, last year we won 7 games. We went 7-6. It was the way we won those games, and in the games we lost, we were in the game. When we were up 28-0 on Missouri or 35-7 on South Carolina last year, those are quality programs. Now, granted, they're not Alabama or Georgia, but I mean, they're not, easy wins. We had never been up on a team like that since, I guess, Philip Fulmer. It's been that long. And to see the progress this team's made has been remarkable. Last year, they won 7 games after the year before they'd only won 3 with Pruitt. And this year, they're at 10 already. I don't know if they'll get to 11 or not. We'll see what happens with the Clemson game. But, I mean, to go from 3 to 7 to 10 is really remarkable. Now, look, there's always things Heupel could have done better. We can all be Captain Hindsight.
And then you see that building to the left? Yes, they shouldn't have built that there, because now you can't park any fire trucks where you really need to. Well, looks like my job here is done.
Yeah, we can all be Captain Hindsight. Also, when it comes to recruiting, I've actually got 7 reasons. I'm not going to go through the 7 reasons why this class of 2023 is really so much better than 22, which wasn't terrible given the circumstances. But if you haven't seen that, this video right here goes through. These are the 7 guys that were ranked higher than the highest ranked player we got in 22 in that class. And I think this is really the foundation and the building blocks for the future of the Vols, to have all these highly rated guys, 2 5-stars and 5 really high 4-stars. That's going to be the foundation. And in reality, the number one most important position on any team by far is quarterback. And we're in pretty good shape there, certainly for the future and the present as well. Now, we need to talk about that a little bit. Now, our current starting quarterback, Joe Milton, like I say, got tons of talent, and we're going to get to see what he can do with this team in the Orange Bowl. And this is an extremely important game for Joe and the Vols, because we're missing several key players and a lot of pressures on this young man. And I'm going to tell you something, being quarterback at a major university, the amount of pressure on you is enormous. I almost can't believe it. I don't know how they handle it. I can tell you, as a former Division I player myself.
How's bragging camp going?
I understand pressure, but not to that level. That's like a whole different level. And these guys deal with it every week. And when they go out there and the 100,000 people are watching and screaming at them, and if they mess up, not only do they have the pressure of that, but there's a 250-pound linebacker that's getting ready to knock your head off on top of it. So it just couldn't be more pressure-packed. And so we're going to get to see what Joe's all about in that Orange Bowl and see what we've got there. And then in the future, of course, we've not only got Tavon Jackson, who's a fine quarterback. We're going to see what he can do. But Nico is a 5-star that everybody's talking about. And this guy, could be the future of the Vols. He's the highest rated quarterback we've gotten since Peyton Manning. That tells you how long it's been. The number 2 player in the country, the number 1 dual threat guy. And his arm is phenomenal. He's quick. He's elusive. He's tall. He's 6'5", so he can see over the line. He's got all the qualities that you want. I'm sure at some point this year we're going to find out what he can do, whether it's a backup role or whether it's a starting role. We just don't know yet until we get further in the future. But I'm very comfortable with Josh Heupel making a very good decision on what's best for the Vols and what's best for the quarterback position. Because look at what he's done. He figured it out pretty early on that Hendon Hooker was going to be special. And that's why he put him in when Joe sprained his ankle. He was like, okay, this guy can do it. And sure enough, he's been doing it for 2 years and had 2 of the best seasons any quarterback's ever had for the Vols. Maybe the best, other than maybe Peyton. I don't know. It's hard. I guess if you went by the stats, it probably is the best. And one of the most important things that happened this year, which was great, I mean, just fantastic, we ended a lot of streaks. Alabama had that 15-year streak. Florida's won like 14 out of 15. Of course, we beat LSU, but it was really Bama and the Gators. Man, I'm telling you, the Gators, that team just annoys me to no end. And to finally end that streak felt so good. Oh, yeah. We all felt exactly like Lloyd Christmas on that motorized bike, just a laughing when those streaks ended. What a relief. That Alabama one, I'll never get over that. That was just ridiculous. The Florida one I expected. The Alabama one I absolutely did not. And when that ball helicoptered through that goalpost, you could feel an explosion of relief and excitement out of the entire state of Tennessee, not just the stadium. And the stadium, it almost fell over. And that doesn't happen unless Josh Heupel takes over this program and he's done it in 24 months. You don't turn a program around that quick unless you really know what you're doing.
That's an attention getter.
And I figure he's at least 2 years ahead of schedule of a best-case scenario that I had for us. I was hoping we'd win 10 games over like a 4-year period of time and get to 10 games, not in the second year. Quite a shock. So I really couldn't feel a whole lot better about the Vols in the future. We've got a little bit of a short-term possible dilemma depending on what happens with the quarterback situation, but that's going to get hashed out, and either Joe's going to take over and run it for a year, or if there's any problems, Nico's there and Tavon Jackson. And if there is a transfer out in the quarterback room, I feel comfortable Josh Heupel will go out in the transfer portal this spring and get somebody to help us as a backup or even somebody that can compete for the starting job. But hopefully that's not an issue. And Joe goes out there and has a great game against Clemson, and then he just rides the wave the rest of the year. That would be ideal for the team. And if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button and also hit that subscribe button. It's right here on my left, your right. Hit that button. They'll send you my videos without you having to hunt for them. And also, I'm going to put that video right here on my right of the 7 reasons why the Vols have got a great future in those recruits. I hope you did like the content. We'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay.